Hello, my name is Brenda Tran and my partner is Gary Prenside. Today we would like to present you a final project exploring transfer learning with CFAR 10 and CFAR 100. Today our agenda is we know the convolutional neural network as good as classify the images when we have the right setup, but this type of model tend to overfit when we don't have enough training data available. They can also require a huge amount of computer resources as well. One of the growing area of research in machine learning is called transfer learning. Transfer learning is the idea of taking a model trained for one task and use that as the starting point of a model for a new task. Or you can think of the original models as trained on a massive data set. It allows the downstream model user to take the advantage of the previous model knowledge. Our project attempts to use the transfer learning idea in order to create a model to classify the CFAR 10 and CFAR 100 image dataset. These two data sets came from the Canadian Institute for Advanced Research with 10 and 100 classes. Each data set has 60,000 images, 50,000 training, and 10,000 test sample. They are color images with the 32 and 32 pixel. The CFAR 100 classes can be grouped into 20 superclasses, each contain 5 classes, so in the total of 100 classes. Our initial thought that we can create a model that's similar to our homework too, and we should get a good result. We utilize all the layers, as you can see from the diagram. It turns out that our result did not match our expectation. The accuracy of CFAR 10 is only 86% and CFAR 100 is only 60%. As you can see, it misclassified the actual woman as a bat, a boy as a flatfish, or a girl. So what should we do and how can we improve our accuracy?
So our team looked at well-known architectures in order to improve our accuracy. One such architecture, densely connected convolutional networks, or DenseNets, is known to work well on the CFAR set. This architecture utilizes a series of densely connected blocks linked by transition layers or bottleneck layers. What makes this network interesting is that these dense blocks, the input to each layer in a dense block is the concatenation of outputs from all other blocks or all other layers inside the same block. This representation also is kind of misleading. This is a simplification. Each one of these layers is made up of several layers. So this is much deeper than our original network. We ran into some problems when trying to train such a deep network. Obviously, it couldn't run on our computers. It was going to be too big. So this is what led us to the idea of transfer learning, being able to take somebody else's model and potentially use it for our problem. So we went with the DenseNet 201. We found out that it was built into Keras. It had all the weights pre-trained as well on the ImageNet dataset. The ImageNet dataset is a 1,000-class dataset, so we do have to work a little bit to make it work for our purposes. So in order to make it work, we had to drop the head, make a new one, upsample the original images to get them to the same ImageNet size, freeze all the weights in the DenseNet architecture, and we wanted to pre-process all those images before we ran it through the network. This is the implementation. As you can see, it's very simple. We instantiate the DenseNet model with the loaded ImageNet weights, no head. We create a simple sequential model instead of having to use the functional API like we did when we made our own DenseNet. We upsampled, dropped that DenseNet in, and added our own head. And as you can see, here's the num classes. So this is our output over here. Accuracy, much better than we before. 95 for the 10 and 80 for the 100 is pretty good. And as you can see, the ones that we did misclass, some, they made a little bit more sense, women for girl, boy, man. So they're a little bit more reasonable than our original model. And here is our heat map. Everything off the diagonal is a misclass. As you can see, we're doing pretty good. And the misclasses are ones that are reasonable, though, species of trees, etc., being mixed up. And that concludes our project.